And G2 versus ENCE, map number 2, about to get underway here. G2 looking to sweep this one under the rug, get it done 2-0. ENCE want the rebuttal here and taking us to nuke. And by doing so, we're heading straight over towards B. Up and over the lane towards mid seems to be name of the game.
All right. Already, good night for Hunter. He's not going to clear his corners, though. NiKo lying in wait, backs are turned, and he should have both beautifully strung together. Yeah, chef's kiss from NiKo. Optimal execution, clearing their corners is a necessity, and they've got themselves in. Honestly, might want to contest this with the support of Alexi, and he's very quick on the draw there. Now, the bomb does go down, so something to be celebrated for ENCE after what really was a kind of open and shut case after NiKo started clicking.
Yeah, well, that was beautiful stuff from NiKo there, right? We see the USP in the back of the head, can always be a difficult task there, but took his time, didn't panic, knew that he had Jax not too far away to help contribute. And one of the things that Snappy has had as a theme in both of these T-pistols is misdirection, right? They've been trying to, oh, we're showing face here, but we're actually going to end up on the other side of the map, and it does facilitate a plant yet again. That was the same that happened on Dust too, if everybody just wants to reflect and remember. And this time round, ENCE are looking to
this is
big guns.
More in line with what we've grown to expect from them.
Yeah, 3 Galils, a Tech 9 and a Deagle here with a light smattering of util as Deha lining up some util towards mid again. We'll throw out a smoke over towards the cave position. Now this is just looking like it's for control, but slowed on down. A couple of HEs, and Monacy does pepper on through to see if he can find any damage of his own, but cave control, ENCE have it.
Yeah, Lexi's actually in a very powerful position for the MP9. You don't often see players stick around here. But in these circumstances, especially with the support of NiKo, it is justifiable. What is he up to? Does he want to push on this? He does. Flash in and just mistimed. Madden will take him down. Good catch to clean is NiKo. Another double on the cards. He thinks better of it. So they do maintain this cave control.
Curious smoke. I think it's just so Madden can at least stay alive, and they can now turn their attention to walk up the long ramp. Hunter gets flashed on in, and proactive stuff grabs another kill, but Spinx gets the trade, and they just walk into NiKo. He bowls down another.
It's all Spinx. He's given them a leg up in this round, and up the box. Down goes Monacy. Jax, the A player, arriving late. Manageable task on his plate, especially if he can take down Spinx. It cost him a heavy blood price, but Madden equally low. One bullet is all it will take for either of them. Oh, well played. Okay, so if he smokes and fakes, Madden either going to reveal himself with a wallbang or walk it out. Jax, you need to tickle it now. Does so. Reveals himself, knows where he is. Spray and flame, spreading as well. Jax, no territory, just gets out, needs a fresh mag, and he's given up the ghost. No kit available. Madden clutches up with a low HP.
Yeah, Jax, unfortunately, not really known for his prowess in the clutch right there, so you can see him having a rough time in the 1-on-2. Unfortunately, it doesn't just go down to the flames, but Madden will surge forward, will get that kill, and thank you very much, Spinx. Great work from him to grab a couple there to get them into the site, and you can see this is why we're a little bit worried. Unable to go through the flames because of the low HP, has to find a way over and gets caught on the way out the door. So this is a great battle back from ENCE into the second round of play, but the Force by Wars, they are on like Donkey Kong. The upgrades have come through for G2 to try and battle into this with a couple of MP9s.
See how far it gets them.
It's mandatory, I think, to drop the donut molly with the top mid smoke here to at least facilitate any mid control for the Ts. We know how much of an onslaught it can be when the CT's in full buys, but yeah, Jack's looking to make amends for the previous.
First CZ75 I think I've seen. Everyone's rocking that 5.7 these days, very vogue. Jack's a man of retro taste.
He's likely cleared here by Deha.
Oh, you say likely, I say not so much, because 2 and 1 available to him. He does take them both down. Beautiful with the one clip. Will get run down, but info and damage dealt to the hands of ENCE. Now, they should be able to get this bomb down uncontested. It's a bit of a late react out of the G2 squad.
Limp smoke forward here to try and facilitate, but the flash forward, I think Madden might catch them in time. Yeah, caught off guard. Monacy down. Still a 3-on-3.
Yeah, unfavored now. I mean, it's a lovely catch from Jax. It seems like ENCE will stabilize, though. No one really particularly threatening. Snappy over on towards MBK. And there you have it. Nice. NiKo, he's made this incredibly costly. Spinx does not shy away from the fight. 3 kills to him, as he's already starting to catapult up the scoreboard. The 5 frags under his name, and Madden 4.
Didn't feel too worrisome there, even though NiKo got a couple of nice ones, did it? You know, it felt like that was going to be theirs. So this from Jack, I am surprised that he wasn't cleared here. Usually very diligent is Deha, but Doesn't clear his corners, and him and Hades fall into the hands of that CZ75. But something that I want to highlight with the CZ for poor Jax is he gets 2 kills, but he only gets $100 per kill. Maybe we can have a look at that one, Valve. I don't know what you at home think. Maybe even just give us 200. Don't even go the standard 300 here. Get a little bit of something still, because a B stack from G2 with these USPs, and the only real weapon to boast about is the Deagle in the hands of NiKo, which they are trying to boost up and over. You can see this angle that it's going to give him to peer down the B ramp. Now, ENCE quite literally have the entire map to work with, and they walk into this. They walk into 2!
3 frags from G2. Oh! Spinx eats lead. NiKo feeds him 3 from the Deag, and it was one of the only weapons in play.
That was it? It was just USPs and a Deagle.
And they've gotten it down to a 1v4. Horrible for Deha as he does some housekeeping. Doesn't want to get this any better for G2 than it already is. He could win this, though. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But G2 already got the lion's share of the legwork done. Don't need to throw this away. Don't need to take a fight in vain. NiKo's bringing that AK into play as well on the fade. He's in the right place. Deha trying to rat through the smoke. Alexi's going to stop him in his tracks as well if he walks through. Here's him, baits him, NiKo. He's got him. What a round. I mean, look at this in review. 4 kills from NiKo, boosting him up to facilitate that first. And then they do just jump in. You point at the map. The entirety of the rest of the map completely unoccupied. And ENCE go for a quick hit into the stack.
Well, they know that there's 2 here, so you can see why they surge forward in cave, because they want to punish the boost. But little do they know, because they don't have any info, that they're walking straight into the Lion's Den. So fantastic stuff. And that is going to be a game-shattering round here for ENCE as they look to throw out some of these infinity mollies that FaZe were doing against them the other day. You see this carpeting the floor of mid. It's going to disallow the push forward and give them space to work with.
Look what it's done to m0NESY. He has no info mid, neither does Hunter. He's got a slight gap for the cross up to red, which he hasn't hit the shot. Madden, though, spotted. He knows he's known. A lot of moving parts to the openings of Ancient these days.
A little bit of space, and well, the adjustments to that spam mean it's not quite as easy to get the damage you're looking for, but Red House under threat here, and with Hunter tasked to cover that off, and the temple closed on at A as well, it means that 2 players have to hold A, 1 mid and 2 towards B.
Very tight line here from Hunter, and he's actually called his cousin into action. Alexi joins him. They are going to have a spray down showdown. And just unloading magazines. NiKo, he wants to get this done quick at a nice tidy 4. This is donezo. Just the dig on Deha, couple of clicks. Jax was laughing at him. And NiKo's in the server tonight. That is something to be feared. Very, very early doors, and he is up to 14, Chad. We've played 5 rounds of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, he has just made ENCE's bed and might even be tucking them in here, because that was a force buy. So not only did he have the impact on the Deagle upgrade, literally the only upgrade eco round, and then stalling out a force buy almost single-handedly here. The last one, the crispy little tap to the dome. ENCE have to go on an eco of their own. G2 should be up to a 4-2 scoreline, and there's no worries about the force buy loss that they had at all. This is a fantastic recovery.
NiKo has just ruined everything ENCE set out to achieve. Just 1 Deagle in that previous round, and now, well, you can see that both Deha and Hades yet to get off of the starting line.
And we know how influential the Orber of Hades and the Rifler of Deha, who loves to get stuck into the thick of things, can be. So would love to get them online here, and I'm sure ENCE would too. But we are just going to stall this one out and allow the utility to get siphoned of G2 and see if maybe they overstep the mark. We have currently a 2-man setup in mid. You can see Hunter playing anti-flash. Alexi has full B lane control in combination with NiKo, and it's m0NESY's Orb that they are trying to allow to patrol. Jax extremely passive with the Org, and that's something to note with Jax. He had the Org over there on Dust 2, and it's his weapon of choice here again. Now, Jax traditionally has very good aim, but maybe in an anchor position like this would want the extra 10 bullets, but when the economy's a little bit rough around the edges, he can still pull out the Silent Stem 4. So that's great from him, and oh, that is quite the bounce back indeed from Vitality on Vertigo. So that series will go to the 3rd map, and pressure is something you need to keep in mind for the Movistar Riders. We can talk about the type of Counter-Strike they're playing, the type of, I want to say, the type of Counter-Strike that Monpos plays, right? He's not scared of anybody, but when you're in a game that is going to get you into an arena, maybe there's a little bit of doubt starting to creep in. You called it half of Astralis and half of Vitality. They have more than enough experience in those type of environments.
Yeah, I mean, digging themselves out of trouble seems to be most of their life, this new roster. But yeah, there's volatility and vitality that I haven't been able to truly...
Maybe they should change name.
...wrap my head around. Yeah, really. I mean, they can go from one day winning a tournament to the next day looking bleak and meek, and then right back to their winning ways. It's on a map-by-map basis as well. You really don't know where to pin them.
Well, hopefully we get to see the best of Vitality because everybody has high hopes for the mix. And we are going to see a timeout here called early from Saw. Exhausted all of them over there on Dust 2, but it was all for naught. Unable to get the conversion after the 8-0 start. Hades doing a lot to contribute to that with his AWP. And we need to take a look at some of the utility choices here for ENCE. Spinx hasn't purchased on in yet. So is 850. Diha and Madden have, well, a smoke between the two of them. And Hades and Snappy, well, they've bought what they can. Now, Spinx will get a molly here, but that means they can't do the crowd control utility that we saw on that little force by round towards mid again. So a few less options when looking for control.
Oh, look at this. The whole squad's heading mid. Through the flames. They don't care. m0NESY blind. Holding down the spray was Madden, and m0NESY still hits it. Jack supporting spray. Dia catches the emerging Hunter. And the T's, they are sprinting. Look at the pace of this round. Oh, one in the back of the head just before Diha dipped away. And Jack's ready to play in the temple. Spots the cross to big box. 3, however, in the A site. It's his responsibility. He's calling for aid now, but they are far away. How long, how much does he want to engage? Oh, not ready for that. Spinx pushed up to CT. Finally puts one down onto NiKo as he takes his 3rd death. This looks like ENCE with the pace change off the back of the timeout, no less.
I was worried. I was very worried about that utility there and how they were going to get into this, but are they really going to try right here? Flashed. It's a team flash, and the bomb more than half gone. Should be saving now.
Should be. Won't be as they push on in. And so ENCE, yeah, that's a lovely... I mean, what happens when you've got no nades? Or what do you do when you've got no nades? Just push faster.
Yeah, and I guess the tells weren't there as well because there was so much util. They just appeared. And m0NESY does great to get the first, but the trade from Spinx is brutal, and you can just see him not let go of W. He understands the gap that he has because they knew that it was 3 players defending mid. You had Hunter push out and die, m0NESY caught in the cutout, and Jax, well, he gave away his position because the AUG was spamming through the smoke. So the gap was identified, the gap was punished, and a great round as we once again see the Infinity Molodies carpet
they're trying
mid.
It again. I mean, fool me once, shame on you, but fool them twice. G2 not going to let those fights go down this time. NiKo, missed shot, punished for it. It was Spinx, but to take him down is an achievement in itself. Aleksib does avenge his fallen comrade. And he's whipping out the AWP as well on this repeat. Diha far more pushed up than he anticipated. Means Hunter's got a lot to do. Poor angle management. Madden just whips the bomb out and is punished for it. A second out of Hunter. It could be 3. Dia tracer fire. It leads to the 3rd. Triple kill out of Hunter to seal the deal for a 5th. Jack's already pushed A, so they know likely lane, and Snappy doesn't have the health to really give this a look in.
Yeah, he has a couple of choices here, but with so much time left on the clock, I'm not sure which is his best option. The close nature of the early stages of map number 2 means neither team has had the loss bonus build. Snappy looks to go around the world. He might actually catch Jax off guard, who on the radar appears to be considering it ever so slightly. But it is going to come down to timing here. 39 on the clock, and a Snappy rounds the corner.
So does Jax.
Well, swings and roundabouts now as Jax has started to push on up and will make his way up and over. The bomb completely marooned almost directly in the middle of the B side. It looks like Snappy will just be saving here.
You much of a horticulturist?
Look, most things that I try to grow die, and considering we're never at home.
Yeah, true. I was just wondering if you could identify the leaves we've got in front of us here.
These look like some form of a palm leaf, I would say.
Oh, there's a reed type thing going on over there?
Because they're not ferns. Ferns are a little bit fuzzier.
I had fern at the tip of my tongue, but I knew I'd embarrass myself.
Yeah, I think ferns they're a little bit fuzzier.
Any of our production team want to chip in? Anyone know what we're looking at here? I'm sure there's probably like a landscape gardener in the chat that's got the books on those.
Well, I think this is quite a humid climate here, so have to keep that in mind when talking about the plants.
Hunter, now this second frag was where it started to go real wrong for ENCE. The 3rd was just the icing on the cake. And a smile out of NiKo. What's going on here?
I think that's the opposite of a smile. but it's a smile.
Oh,
it's an ironic smile.
Yeah, okay.
It's I can't believe he just did that.
I can't believe I missed that AWP shot. Yeah. Probably. Actually, exactly what that was. Flame exchange. NiKo puts Snappy.
Oh, that's a nice
right
nade, isn't it?
Down. Yes, it is. A lot of damage there. About 80 damage inflicted.
One note that I wanted to pull up from the early stages so far of Ancient is the fact that G2 have looked relatively proactive. And what I want you to reflect on is when Alexi be pushed forward in cave with a teammate in a flash, right? They've continued to make these maneuvers. And speaking of maneuvers, Madden has gotten in quite tight here.
I don't know. He's ready.
He's going to go overlooked.
Feed him.
Yeah. The barrel gets spotted, and oh, Madden, unfortunate there. Alexi will get 2, and that should be the round.
Yeah, unless Hades has got some heroics available. He's actually just found his first frag, so if he can build upon that in any way, certainly a good confidence boost. NiKo's alive, though, and hiding in plain sight on the triangle. Oh, executes him. 16 and counting for NiKo. They cannot get past him. It's either Hunter or NiKo. You can't silence the Kovac cousins. 2 AKs in play, keep them on those 2 for the CT holds, and we are up to 6 now for G2. Now, we talk about Ancient, and, you know, we are expecting to see the CTs emerge victorious in the half. It's just a matter of how much it is.
So 3, but I think here, a 4 or 5 is where I want to start drawing the line until we see more of the newer version of Ancient. Now, Madden and Snappy have been able to buy in here, but it's definitely on the weaker end of a Mac 10 and a Tech 9. And B being locked off, but that is a defensive CT smoke dropped early. More utility being lobbed out. So many nades in the early stage.
Madden, he got unlucky last time. Maybe revenge. Yeah, Alexi not expecting that, and a double on the Mac 10. Madden does more than was asked of him.
But they know Jax was over towards B, so A, maybe it's open for business.
Is it over? I mean, they can go into A completely no resistance. Hunter second guessing himself. Now the util spotted. And it's a tough retake. He's going to be ahead of this. Oh, not today, says Hades. An important frag to post, and it does really limit G2's options. You can see NiKo's already receding. Monacy's going to be very hard-pressed to get away with that AWP.
I think as soon as the players boost up towards that tree and you don't have any sight control established, you're going to have a real rough go getting back in, and you could see that was Hunter's fate. So great work from ENCE to take advantage of a bit more of a risky maneuver from G2 there. You could see they wanted to change the way they're approaching the CT side, and that proactive nature came back to bite them as Madden continues to march forward in cave. And once upon a time, in the early days of Ancient, Madden was the man on the tip of everyone's tongue. He was doing a lot of damage. He was an absolute monster. ENCE need that form when they need it now as they all start to clamp on in on Monacy's position. Left, right, and center will have to hit some crazy shots right here, but Madden will do so with the Glock, gets the frag. They scoop up the AWP to hand over towards Hades. So 4 already from ENCE. This is a fantastic half in the early stages.
This from Madden. I mean, he did just time it to perfection. You know, the Molly does, even when it's on the floor, heat up, for lack of a better term. The damage ramps. And so really licked lightly, gets through, no sound cue heard, and enables him and facilitates a double entry on just a Mac 10.
Important round for G2 now. If they're unable to convert here, ENCE can start building a massive T haul. Economy's not there going forward. Deep Molly, Flash, and the Extinguish.
NiKo, he wants revenge. He's not happy with losing that cave bout. Not even once.
This corner now seems pretty susceptible with how shallow it is, but might go overlooked because you wouldn't expect players to be standing there. The spam through now. The wood is still paper thin, but this tarp that you see it either side does cause a couple of, I want to say, bullets to be absorbed. Still flirting and testing with that one myself, but NiKo's clearly found out how he likes to pepper on through. Snappy, in the meantime, has been chipped extremely low here.
Spinx, good for it. Just taps the head off of NiKo. And an ENCE opening. They've already found the 4th. He already highlighted the importance of a response now to G2 here in round 11. Hunter going to be ahead of the util. He has Alexi in tow, tagged a little on the toe. Oh, missed Molly. He can just hide out. It doesn't matter if Madden's on one. One back from Alexi. Surely play for the team. Play for survival. Man disadvantage. Snappy tagged up, and they do have the posted up AWP for long side, so it really limits G2's options into the site. They are already kind of sitting still, uncomfortably still. I guess they're hoping Alexi might find something.
If Alexi doesn't get a kill, there's no point going for this retake. We already discussed the finances, right? And unfortunately, that's such a big topic in Counter-Strike. I'd love just for, well, actually, no, I wouldn't. The ebbs and the flows, what makes this game beautiful here. So trying to make the best decision they possibly can after giving up those opening frags. Yeah,
I mean, especially considering that they were hunted on their previous attempt to save. Like, they didn't get to bring anything through the AWP and the M4 taken away from them in the previous. So this one, a nice, guaranteed 3-rifle save.
Cool. Simple just loaded up a game. Let me have a look what he's in.
All right, a little bit of a flank there.
Well, it wasn't Counter-Strike. Oh, I won't do him like that. I think he's maybe relaxing. He's already in the playoffs.
Yeah, what's he playing? Hello Kitty Adventure?
I heard that's one of his favorites. No, I'd say he likes a caramel macchiato from Starbucks, though. I got that memo.
Oh, you took him up on his invite?
No, I just saw him in the lift.
Caramel macchiato. Oh, I did not. Oh, no.
Is he aimbotting?
No, Dan M didn't.
Please, Dan.
Oh, God. Well, there's YouTube content for a couple of idiots.
Guys, if you don't click, we can take him down. You, me, Alex,
yeah,
a lot of us.
No, he's a tier 1 pro. He's salaried. He plays in front of everyone with his monitor and keyboard and everything right in plain view. But, yeah, no, he's cheating. And you know, if Hades was cheating, do you just not think he'd probably not have some bad games, you know? Like,
yeah, I'd try to have a good game
I'd try and have a good game every game, especially when I had an unfair advantage. So just cool it, yeah? 6-5, that is already looking to shape nicely for ENCE here on their map pick.
Yeah, this is great.
This
I think
is
anything
dreamy.
right now is cream, and not the one on Yanko's cake. Might even be a little bit tastier here for ENCE, because I'm sure they'd love to extend this one to nuke.
Well, B is wide open. If anyone has the confidence to just walk in, they would have a lot of confidence in converting. Currently, the bomb's leaning A side.
Can I start a bit of a conversation?
You can.
Because 2 massive rounds that they won early were NiKo going nuclear.
Yeah.
And then Hunter had a big round as well. So there's 3 of the 6. So is it maybe the Cousins having to just drop bombs for them to be able to convert rounds here, or is there going to be contributions from others? Because look at this.
I mean, he has to do something. He's one of the 2 saved rifles. Monacy on the AWP posted up, and a hard flick to hit just on the slither gap, and Snappy holds his nerve, holds his spray. One back from that AWP.
Oh, they want him.
Oh, in the transition, Jack's bodyguards. It's Snappy and Spinx, though, to end it. And Monacy in a tight situation. He will miss his shot, and Snappy brings home the 6th round, unless Hunter's USP, no armor, has got anything to say about it.
I think Snappy's hurt him here as well.
I think he's dead in, what do you reckon, 8? He stood still. 7?
Where do you want to go? 15 maybe?
Yeah, okay, we'll try 15. So it was just at 40.
Okay.
So call it 25. 20. Oh, he's coming. 5, 4. Snappy's so well trained.
Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes.
Knife. It's a hard clear though. Snappy's going to do a very hard clear here. Bye. 6. That is sensational for ENCE. They are not going to be complaining in the slightest.
I think this is one of the worries a lot of people have for a team like G2 is how shallow the map pool seems. Right, the normie maps as we label them, but we're obviously talking about the Infernos, the Mirages, the Dust 2s. That's a comfort zone for them.
They'll throw a nuke in there.
Yeah, but the problem is it's a 7-map pool, and you only get to ban 1 in the first phase. So you've got a couple of pressure points that people are really going to be able to dig their fingers into. An Ancient appearing to be one early, but the half's not done yet. Can still walk away with 9 and needs to start now. Damage done either way, and Hunter chipped on down to 1. Not chipped, brought on down to 1. Has to run back with the towel tucked between his legs.
But I love that from Hades, the proactivity to just walk knowing that the likelihood is he can take a big portion of the map and divide it in half.
Yeah, having someone in Red House is key. They can hit either site here, but G2 are aware, pushing into main, straight into Spinx.
He's alive though. Oh, Monacy snaps into the healthy D-Hurst, so problems now.
For both teams, Spinx on 9, Hunter on 1, so either squad with the walking wounded. But remember the real estate of Hades. He'll hear anybody who lets go of the shift key.
The fact Alexi walked until the jump, now audible, perhaps indicates he's aware that that's been a gap.
Look at how much utility you have left over on ENCE right now. I suppose Hades is rendered useless by being in this position, and I don't mean him as a person, I mean his utility. So
Spinx could flash Hades through if he wanted to have a look. I don't know whether or not they want to push any further. You can see he's maneuvering back now. Hades rather ENCE grouping up through cave.
Gonna be a B hit, 3 here.
They're doing contact. Yeah, element of surprise is massive. NiKo waits it out, and it does reward him. One more required, and a missed shot out of Spinx. That should mark the end of it. The discipline on NiKo, he watched them get murdered in order to facilitate a guarantee.
Well, he has 12 more kills than anyone else on his team right now. He is having a just in time, once again, if you are just joining us, an elimination match here. So the fact that he is going to go huge like this when the team needs him most, this is why you have a superstar in your roster.
And you can see, I mean, he did bait, but in order to acquire certainty. So you can see he's already like given them a breakdown of what they did wrong as he clutches up the round. I will read out his scoreline: 20-7 in round with 13 rounds of play. The next highest is on 8. That is a gaping chasm separating NiKo from the rest of his squad. And he is, as you already highlighted, the reason that there are 7 in the G2 bank right now.
But he falls into the category with a lot of other players alongside of Zywoo or, say, a Simple, who get to have one of these games. And the opponent just chalks it up to exactly that, right? Oh, NiKo's happy is the conversation right now. So trying to avoid him is very difficult to do. But G2 looking to string another one here.
They might want to bully Jax on A, but first through mid is the play. Spinx has got some pep in his step. And whoa, big exchange. Jack gets one from the grave, so an equivalent. Some alchemy
That's
continues.
the bomb spotted.
Yeah, look at this. Constant equivalent exchanges. Hades is anticipating this. He knows that it's an easy route to respond. Spots out the SMG and plucks him straight out of the pack. There's 2 more here, and NiKo trying to disrupt that plant. Doesn't announce it immediately, now bodyguarded. Spinx keeps his teammate alive, and it's Hades to pull home the final frag. 7-7, folks. I think ENCE are going to be grinning. You talked about it being, you know, cream on top. Well, they actually could win out the T-half here.
Looking likely now. Money's not there for a G2 buy here, and it looked good. As soon as the bomb gets dropped there, you could see Snappy accelerating on his own. That kill from Hades in mid alleviated so much pressure, right? You only now had to worry about the positions of CT and Temple, and that's exactly where the last 2 G2 members were coming from. Now, we've seen them win a round with much less G2 in this half already. They're going to have to do it again if they want to win the half going into the break.
Want to see caught out, just poked his head out of the smoke and gets a rude shock as another loses their life. Was that Hunter? Yeah, pushing through willy-nilly. Trying to avenge the early opening.
This one feels destined to be done for ENCE.
I mean, yeah, call it 8. That's a very good haul.
Even with the explosive, massive plays from NiKo here, this game doesn't feel like it has a whole lot in it for G2.
Yeah, and we are going to get the opportunity to contrast directly. ENCE's T side, the dynamics, the pace changes, the pressure points on A, and we've seen their conversions on B. 8-7 secure. Now it's time to play that game. We will take a quick break and be able to see exactly what G2's T side is looking like on Ancient. Will ENCE be able to push us the distance, or will G2 secure a next round of play here in Cologne?
Let's do default.
Let's do default. Come with me up sometimes.
You want the flash for boiler?
No, well, maybe you can. Yeah, you can. I will do molly and flash. I'm up for. Okay, 1 flash. Okay, save both. Save 1. I will do flash second with myself.
Hold us 146 next, okay? Yeah, I do. Please be ready for set up mid, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, flash
Molly deep,
Flash.
Flashing.
Get ready next, I'm ready. I'll call the flash. Wait.
I have webs.
Flash. I'm full blind. Broken.
Molly mid.
I'm dodging flash. What is the boost? Not. Pull back.
Molly depths.
Nice. 1 HP. He's easy to watch out.
No. Oh, depths. Watch out short, come on.
1 HP on B, guys.
sorry, 3 on the B bomb site, and alone is Magiska on A.
NiKo, you have to send us.
Next have fake, next have fake B. Give me C4.
Jackie, fall back.
Jackie, fall back, please. I want you to search next as well, okay?
Yeah, go. Tell me
Wait. We need to wait for Jackie.
I'm going up.
Start faking on 32 next, okay?
Yeah. I flash for you, cheminée, okay? Enter and Amar.
Don't just jump, Jackie. Follow quick.
Get ready,
Don't
guys.
flash for us.
I'll flash.
Jackie, go down with Amar.
Flash pit. I smoke small pit.
2B. Short.
Nice.
There 2B. One more short.
Isn't seem better.
One more has to be A.
NiKo and it's Hunter. It's the two cousins left alive for G2.
Pit.
Touch smoke. Touch smoke. Spike came on flash.
Now, he's got to keep the hopes and dreams of G2 alive with the man in question.
Mam flash za kratko, daj ako vidím. Okej, dal flash. Kuća možda.
Kratko. Tipo ću dugo uskoro.
Kratko je
Čekam vreme samo.
Daj to.
Nice.
That's why they've got these guys in G2. That's why they want to be.
This is props. This is props, guys.
A stream action to continue momentarily, but a quick update from the B stream, because as much as Movistar and Rounders own the boys behind me on their own map pick, Vitality answered back, fighting on that second map of Vertigo, 16-3, no lesser. Nature is healing because we saw Zywoo posting up 104 ADR over that map. Now we're on to that third and final deciding map of Nuke. That will determine who is going straight through to the LAN access. Early stages though, folks, gentlemen. So I want to throw it over to Chad and Alex, because we've got an elimination match on the way. Is it looking easy for ENCE coming into the second half?
I think the Verkars can start the intro at least.
Yeah, the vibe right now, well, ENCE is definitely passing the check. It's looking like good vibration, smiles on the faces, and no more Snappy putting his hand through desks. That was a fantastic first half, and it feels a bit underwhelming because, sure, G2 got 7 rounds, but that's mainly driven through NiKo, as the 1x bet odds are still favoring the Samurai here. We're going to need a T half to match that of ENCE as if this wants to go in a 2-0 fashion.
Sending Madden over, they've already got the info.
Yeah, everyone's here. There's 4 players.
And now 3. NiKo with the P250. Good for those long range duels. God damn, every bullet connecting Animony's Glock. A Goosh converted. A clip reloaded. And that late arrival from Hunter is set for success. The 3 CTs now tasked with retaking this. And look at the lovely elevated angle he's been given by the boost. He can mantle up silently.
Oh, maybe not so silently.
Yeah, Spinx knows. And Jack still blows his head clean off. Snappy now manages to pull a second miraculously on the move. And Hunter should clean this up. G2 take the pistol. Now that will actually continue to maybe forecast a competitive second half.
But that's the problem, is the fact that G2 won the pistol round in the first half as well. And then you had a couple of Miracle NiKo rounds. So this is the thing. You're a G2 fan, you're thinking the highlights look great, but the map isn't really going in your favor. ENCE are more than taking care of business. And now they look to do the same in another force buy situation here. A couple of clean shots to give some confidence for G2 now, but ENCE, they still have to be extremely happy knowing that they are on the CT side. Sure, the scoreline is level, but they're expected to have a massive bag of rounds posted their way. Spinx is out, and he's looking for a frag with his 5-7 in hand, and the smoke, I'm not sure how NiKo saw anything there, but does get the opening. Spinx hits the deck one more time.
NiKo firing off his AK, lets ENCE know what is awaiting them should they choose to fight to engage.
Freya talking about Zywoo back in form, well NiKo too. 24 kills for him now.
Very good side to life, isn't it? Bodes very well, 25 and counting, and he might have to do it all. Deha and Hades up against NiKo and Hunter. We just heard them and their comms in the 2vx.
Yeah, I'm sure they've chopped and changed language right now as smoke will bloom over towards A, and that's going to at least give the indication to ENCE that the bomb is headed elsewhere. Hades in hot pursuit here. Should get to Donut in time. It looks like he wants to go the long way round.
Oh, well, that really does guarantee the plant. I wonder if NiKo's going to rush the plant. Yeah, okay, so smoke is down. That will maybe pull Hades into Donut.
Has to be a bit safer here, which means he's susceptible. You can see him going for the fake, and yeah, understand why. They're not sure if anyone's close CT. The Deagle signifies at least one, and the Galil, well, both. They should know where both players are now.
Yeah, just assuming it might be a cheeky fake spray and swap to the Deag. I mean, no one from G2 is actually looking at where they were.
That's very curious, isn't it? So yeah, thinking there was some tricky games here. But the only game is Hades going to try and find a gun over towards the B site, see if he can scoop something up alongside of Deha, and he will. So the Poles looking to retain what they have. The force by coming in hasn't profited. It was close, it was scrappy, but they walk away with the round G2 and are in the lead 9-8. So 3 big kills for NiKo, and that's the only 3 kills of the round. How much does he have to do, Alex?
Well, it's enough. Hunter does go down after the explosion, but that's 9.
This is the thing. I think every round that NiKo's had a multi-kill, they've won the round.
Yeah, oh, that's almost a guarantee.
And how many multi-kills do you think NiKo's had?
7.
9.
Jesus.
How many rounds do they have?
9.
There you go.
I get that. I did the maths.
And he's got 5 opening kills. That's beautiful next to his name. The stats, they all add up. So let's see if he can continue this form, because ENCE are in with a bye.
Let's see how far it gets him. It's far from optimal. But G2 have been really gifted the leg up, or I think I should rather say they've taken the leg up here in the start of our second half.
This could get some excitement going for G2. I still think this is early stage, and I still have ENCE as the favorite in this map, but if G2 convert this first gun round, that conversation will start to change. Plenty of util for a B execute here, and cave control at least phase 1 for Alexi B and NiKo.
Why use the molly when you can use NiKo? That will force Snappy back. And Madden to have a look, a great shutdown of the hero. NiKo gone. Now let's see if your correlation continues, Chad.
Yeah, the question is, can they do it without him? And honestly, had a glance, spotted one, and has held at bay for now. I'm not sure where they can really fall back to, because the rotation is actually one step ahead of them. Spinx has started to worry about Red House. Madden will actually take that position as Spinx is helping out A, and they're just running into Deha. The Galil spams down one. The trade is there from Alexi, and maybe they'll be into the side at least.
Hot on their heels. Was Snappy. Madden's got a good position to catch after the plant, but Monacy's just taken down that Temple player. Get nothing done. It seems they can, Chad. No NiKo, no problem. Monacy steps up to bat. Barrel did stick out and allowed descent. That's the end of that. Okay, Xtaz knows what that means. 10 already, and with a 1-map advantage in this series. ENCE, 6-round losses away from Cologne elimination.
And now that frustration that we saw from Snappy a little bit earlier might be creeping back through, because this felt like it should have been their round. They get the opening onto NiKo, and then Deha gets the first kill and all the information that they're coming towards A, but the CT smoke was more than enough. Monacy deals with the leak that is the Temple push and just silences anybody trying to scamper on towards the site. ENCE are in a rough spot right now and have called their 3rd timeout, as you do see Saw, the coach, chipping in. Having a bit of a conversation now. They cannot go for a full buy. They will just have to go for a couple of upgrades here and wait another round before the guns can come back out. This is going to put G2 likely onto 11 early here. And the fact that they're going to get 4 consecutive off the bat, off the break, their confidence has to be swelling now.
Conservative yet threatening into this round for ENCE. Round 19, it's Deagles. It's a little smattering of utility. But a layup for G2's 11th.
And that's the thing, it really should be their round. In a situation like this where you don't really know what the buy should look like, risks should be mitigated here. You don't want to be pushing too far on your lonesome.
Wow, he's just oh, it's all fake. Look at this, look at it. He's just wasted that nade out of Snappy with a little bit of a sound cue bait. And execution.
He's feeling it right now. He's in that flow state.
He is in the Matrix, yeah. Fully plugged in. Red Sun.
Yeah, nice little shallow nade there to do with Madden, who was his nemesis in the previous.
Oh, everyone's got their nades ironed out well here. Everything is hit.
That's perfectly timed, wasn't it?
To get you
the pop of
across,
the flash. You'd
yeah.
love to see that. That's Counter-Strike.
Now, honestly, not normally the first in, but he might have to be. Diha does connect onto Jax, and he will catch one in that donut position. And it's all good in the hood for G2. No sweat on the brow as they edge ever closer to knocking ENCE out.
This is where the game truly starts for both teams, because at this point we expect ENCE to start putting round after round on the CT side. If they're unable to do that, well, there's no way we're going to be having the conversation about Nuke, and G2 will just walk this one home. They had an extremely competitive first half. Actually, I tell a lie. They had a great first half. A fantastic first half. 8 rounds on the T side of Ancient. This should be their map. It is their map choice, and this is the easier side. We need to see it now from ENCE.
Different look off the playbook. G2, they have already set sights, set a clear statement of intent towards the A site, and they're already cocking up smokes. This is going to be Hades' first test of his A defense. Contact, silent, no help apart from D-Hud. Now starting to burrow in towards Temple. He'll have the first sign on the cross. Jack slips into the site, unbeknownst to Hades. Lots of bodies, nice elevated angle, but caught out on the second. Spinx sticking out, and already G2 3-2 in the trades. Honestly, he's got that Temple on lock. It's a nice safe plant. NiKo is going to be arriving late should he be required. Madden still concerned about it, but G2 have already made it look silly. Hard shot, not for NiKo. Constantly shifting tiny pixel head, but pops it. Well, Chad, this was ENCE with their, what could have and should have been that first gun round back if they wanted to take us to that third. Now G2 starting to sit down in that driving seat, 12. And what blows my mind is, yes, such a strong first half out of ENCE. You start thinking, okay, we've got a game here. G2 yet to drop a round on their T side.
Yeah, I'm a bit stunned by the scenes that we're seeing here. I love the pathing of all of this. Now, one thing that you need to note with the smokes that came in, one towards CT and one towards Donut, was you do have to worry about Temple. But if you stay tight towards the tree and you path in close, you don't have to worry about the Temple position
like
unless they poke their head out.
Just dip straight
exactly.
In.
The riflers dipped in and Monacy held Temple with the AWP. So they negated that position without utility just by knowing that their pathing was a bit different. And NiKo gets 2.
Flashed and in the flames. NiKo still brings the pain. 2 down on the spray. And yeah, what you got, Hades? You've got an AK-47 and a growing deficit.
This one feels done. It's strange. I really thought we'd get ENCE coming out the gates here, hot on the CT side, feeling the confidence of how good they were on their T half, their map choice. But again, a great lead in the early stages of the first half, and then battling back into it is G2. We discussed the resilience over there on Dust 2, then winning that map, then being down in the dumps. It didn't look great. It was 8-0, massive hole. This man on your screen right here, clutching a 1-on-3 on Pistol, clutching against Monacy, and a 1-on-1 on the B site. A nice shot there, but it just feels like a consolation now. ENCE looking to be eliminated in last place of the group stage alongside of a heroic sent packing by Mouse earlier in the day. Oh, this is not anybody's expectation.
Yeah, I actually saw a tweet from Olofmeister as well. He was just talking about how insanely cutthroat Counter-Strike is at the moment. I'm going to actually see if I can reference it specifically. He says, heroic out in last place. One of G2 and ENCE as well. Tier 1 CS is brutal nowadays. Still 2015 CS was at its absolute peak, but it's getting close.
Yeah, got to throw that one in there. I respect it, Olaf.
Still fine.
He remembers the game for Renegades versus Titan on 2015.
Oh, he was watching.
Yeah, well,
so
that's obviously what he was referencing right there, wasn't it? Wasn't it, Olaf?
Surprised, yeah.
Now, I want to remind everybody, as ENCE's last time out comes through, not only is this an elimination game, but it is the lower bracket. It means the gauntlet for whoever wins this will have to be run. The next opponent for either of these teams is NIP.
Who did just get slapped.
Yeah, that was a bit of a curb stomping against Na'Vi. That is just Na'Vi going, yeah, hold up a second. You guys thought this was a competitive event. No, it'll be the Na'Vi phase final that I think everybody was expecting.
And they just look so, like, well-drilled, like the teamiest team in attendance.
SDY was the highest rated player in the match. Just try that one on for size. Let that one sink in.
I mean, let's be frank. Anybody from the CIS region, given that Na'Vi call-up, you are going to be putting on your try-hard pants for a full 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. This is what it's all been about for SDY. So it must be absolutely euphoric for him.
Look at this push coming in.
Knife out. They want to go fast. Look at the nade damage. The CTs no, and Spinx does shut down one. A fumble on the spray means m0NESY has time to adjust the scope.
But they can call it off. They've got what they wanted, an opening kill immediately.
But space surely taken. Look at Snappy. He could have and should have perhaps moved up.
They just didn't have enough information on the numbers now. So the round's back on. Even though m0NESY and Jax are both very, very low, peppered on down through the smoke right there. They've scavenged the bomb. They've got the util.
Okay, now we're going to get mid-roundy.
And this is the thing. There's so many questions for both teams because they weren't sure how many players were really committed towards A. And you can see Madden, look how passive he is on the radar, number 6, all the way over towards B. Just no idea what's going on B lane. No idea if they're going to waltz up into the site on a timing. They're actually come towards Snappy in mid, who isn't peeking either. He's tucked in towards the cutout. And what's allowing Snappy to stay here is Diha, who was just jump spotting mid.
Was past tense because the mollies are coming straight for him. Now, what's the reaction? I like that more than the smoke. Beats the flames and calls upon Diha to bait. CT smoke. They know the one donut. Trying to wrap around. Snappy pre-aiming this. Jax's legs will betray him. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. But NiKo with the rebuttal. Into donut. We'll find out if it's sweet or not. Missed shot. Hades. Oh, and m0NESY both taking it in turns. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders now.
He's pinned.
And m0NESY will punish. Advantage G2 into the site.
Great smoke.
How do you get back in? Madden wants to try and contest the plant with the flames, but it's going to be a bit too late. Maybe? No, combined with the spray, it does a lot of pressure. And through for the defense is m0NESY. G2, they were just on the brink of losing it there. Saved by the AWPer. 14 now. ENCE have completely been gagged on this second half. Not a single round, Chad. Not a single round after a sensational start on this map, and G2 have found form on the attack of Ancient. You were talking about it, you know, you haven't seen enough from T sides in this new look Ancient to see if people can get bigger hauls. Well, if this map is anything to go by, both teams are setting the record straight.
And both going for that carpet of flames in middle there, coming through. Hades, he's going to have to deal with a lot. They're ahead of it. Hunter will get him the opening now. Oh, G2, no. 4 more kills away from round 15.
And NiKo's alive. Typically on that lane.
He's got a free kill here.
I think so. Spinx does catch him. So at least bringing down NiKo, but it's the barrage of util sailing through the air will leave Diha wanting.
Really exploiting his A side.
Very much so. There's nice connections through the smoke. Snappy does prevail. It's m0NESY over the top of the flames. You'd think he's caught a glimpse of it there, but he's focused on Temple. Still hits a cracker. Spinx on that site needed one, and he catches the nade instead. Diha's done nothing in this position, just staring at the smoke. And already, G2 with that advantage and a whole 60 seconds.
Alexi's actually floating towards CT spawn, and m0NESY's clearing off towards Temple. They might even float with the idea of taking the bomb towards B, but it's all down to the timing. Diha could stall this one out. Alexi might get caught in transition here. The back could be turned as Diha starting to round the corner. Alexi isn't going to slink around in time. Diha knows the bomb's going B, but m0NESY's got him locked.
Yeah, this is perfect. It couldn't have worked out better unless somehow Diha bounces. And m0NESY shuts it down. That's a 4K into a 3K in back-to-back rounds from the young gun. And G2 have got it on a silver platter now. Those highs of that first half now in a whimper. ENCE running out of opportunities.
This is massive from m0NESY here, up to 21 kills. Remember, this was the NiKo show in the first half. He was so far ahead the rest of his team. We didn't actually think that they were going to be able to get it done, but they've been chipping in, they've been contributing, and those frustrations are here for ENCE. They are looking done and dusted. 1 round away from being eliminated. The world number 3 to go out last in groups.
This could end in any second. You've seen how quick the rounds can end at this point in time. G2 have got all of the stars shining bright. Spinx looked away. So many people here. He does take the first. Alexibees loses his head. It's Hunter with the 2-man spray down. Already running out of opportunities. Diha's been having a tough second half, but not going to say, or rather not going to give up just yet. Hunter catches it. Diha pulls us back into a slowdown. 3 versus 3. Snappy versus NiKo next on the agenda. Does he know? Oh, he does now, and Snappy goes down.
Madden and Diho are on A. They got completely faked out by some light util. NiKo surging forward. He's going to take this space, and Monis is going to come up long with the bomb. It can go down. Jax is in float. This is looking great for G2 to get it done now. A clean sheet on the T side of Ancient.
Never have I seen G2's T side look this clean. ENCE completely absent. AWOL. It's up to Diha. Nice spray out of NiKo. Catches a nade. It's up to Madden. Jax to finish it. Alongside with Monacy, finds himself a bit of form here on the attack. No kit. It's gotta be no hope. ENCE about to be eliminated from IEM Cologne 2022. It's up to Jax though in the clutch. And that'll do. 16 secure. G2 live on, and they will run the gauntlet a little more in this lower bracket. ENCE packing their bags. Last place in IEM Cologne 2022.